What I found surprising when I first did an ice bath, because I wasn't very optimistic that I would be able to stay in very long, was that I was able to stay in for the full 10 minutes. And the worst part of it was, I thought, psychological, because it was the 2 minutes while I was waiting on the bath to fill up. That was my brain telling me that I shouldn't do it. But then when I actually got into the ice bath and just kind of settled and didn't move, it was easy. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. So I'm curious, why was it easier for me if I was just staying still? I did find if I moved a little bit, it would make it worse.
Well, there's a physical reason for that, that if you're still, you develop a boundary layer. So the water, which is in contact with your surface, it warms up. So it's like an insulating layer. And then when you move, you disrupt that insulation. And once again, you have the colder water in contact with your skin. So sure. We've done experiments with ice baths just for scientific reasons. And we find that if we warm the hands, there's no shivering in the ice bath. And the person can stay in the ice bath for quite some time. Now, here's the interesting thing. They get out of the ice bath, and in just about a minute, they will start shivering violently. And the reason is that while you're in the ice bath, the peripheral tissues of your body, your legs, your arms, and so forth, they have become very cold. But your blood flow is being restricted to the core of your body to protect the temperature of your internal organs, your heart, the lung, the liver, the brain. So what happens when you get out is all of a sudden that core blood starts circulating out into the peripheral tissues and comes back cold. And all of a sudden you get this cold shot in the core of your body and you are shivering violently.
For anyone that's listening that maybe wants to try an ice bath, is there practices that people should be aware of to prevent maybe unwanted consequences? I suppose, is there a negative effect if you perhaps do, say, an hour of weight training and then go straight into the ice bath? Or should there be a period in between those two where you maybe let your body cool down a bit before you get into the ice bath?
Well, I really can't give you any definitive information on that. All I can say is going into an ice bath is a shock. So someone who has a weak heart or has some form of heart disease should not do that. They should avoid any sort of shock that all of a sudden will pump up your heart. So, of course, most athletes are not going to have that problem. They're younger people and in good shape and have strong hearts. So that's the only caveat that I could think of at the moment. There are people who say that it's not a good idea to cool down rapidly or to heat up rapidly, but we haven't seen any adverse effects.
And is there a time in which staying in the ice bath won't produce any better results physiologically for recovery?
As long as you're in the ice bath, you're going to continue to lose heat. So there will come a time when hypothermia is a problem. Your body will protect the core to the extent that's possible, but you eventually reach a point at which the core temperature will be falling. And that is not immediately a danger, but it is a danger in the long run. I mean, your heart slows down, your cognition slows down. So it's not a good idea to drive yourself into deep hypothermia or significant hypothermia. So what you're aiming for in the ice bath is to get that cooling of the peripheral tissues, that cooling of the ankle, the knee, the elbow, the shoulder. But if you are in that ice bath too long, you're going to start lowering the temperature of your heart, your brain, your liver, your lungs. And that you want to avoid.
And also some research that I've been looking at regarding the effects mentally of ice baths show that any longer than 10 minutes, the effects on dopamine will not increase any further. So when you get to the 10-minute mark, it just kind of plateaus and you're not getting any better effects mentally.